you could lose Michaela.
What Michaela and I have, you can't just sneak that up. She's my family, and I'm hers.
We got this. It's a new world, man. We have to adapt.
If you try a good case, whatever the jury decides is right. Only way that lets me sleep at night.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Tracee Ellis Ross, NBC Tonight.
Breaking news now at 11, the sound of sirens, a chilling wake-up call in Ukraine as Russian missiles target several airports and military installations. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams. This invasion has been telegraphed for weeks, and tonight it escalated. Russia says they were successful in knocking out Ukraine's military air defenses. Ukraine reports they shot down 5 Russian aircraft. Tonight, the presidents of both Russia and Ukraine addressed their nations about the invasion. Ukraine is bordered by NATO countries, but is not a member of NATO. And Robert, you spoke to Congressman Adam Schiff tonight, who explains why there will be no U.S. troops in Ukraine.
We are not going to have boots on the ground, he explains, because Ukraine is not a member of NATO. The only way that changes is if Russia were to invade a NATO country. Adam Schiff is the chair of the House Intelligence Committee. He got an update from the director of the CIA and then spoke to us a little over an hour after the first blasts were heard. The sirens of invasion, Ukraine under attack.
This will be a costly, bloody campaign, and it's a terrible tragedy to the civilians in Ukraine, but also means that a lot of Russians are going to go home in body bags.
It began after 7 o'clock tonight, our time.
Although now, as we're speaking, I just heard sounded like one explosion.
New satellite images showing Russian equipment and a field hospital close to the Ukraine border. Russian President Putin warning that other countries attempting to interfere would face, quote, consequences they have never seen.
The world will hold Russia accountable.
At the United Nations,
it is the responsibility of this body to stop the war.
I wanted to say in conclusion that we aren't being aggressive against the Ukrainian people, but against the junta that is in power in Kiev.
To stop him, it would have required American military force, which was not going to be the case. But what we can do is we can make this very costly for the Russians so they don't stay. And they don't stay indefinitely. And that means supplying Ukraine with weapons to defend itself.
Ukrainian President Zelensky announces martial law, urging citizens to stay calm and stay home. But NBC News cameras spot a steady stream of headlights, residents fleeing the capital.
People have been preparing for the worst.
President Biden tonight saying Putin has chosen a premeditated war that will bring a catastrophic loss of life and human suffering. The president also speaking directly to President Zelensky tonight, who asked Biden to call on world leaders to speak out against Putin's aggression. President Biden to address the nation tomorrow, promising the United States, its allies and partners will be imposing severe sanctions on Russia. But tonight, President Putin declaring Russia's security interests unconditional. Colleen.
Robert, a lot of people are probably wondering, how did it escalate to this point? Well, there's a long, violent history between Russia and Ukraine. Putin and some Russians believe Ukraine was part of Greater Russia, that culturally and historically, they're essentially one people. And up until 1991, they were. In August of that year, Ukraine declared its independence. So the invasion now is basically a land grab, an attempt to get back what was lost 3 decades ago. Recently, tensions between Russia and the U.S. have escalated, sparked by Washington's accusations that Russia meddled in the 2016 presidential election, among other things. And it really boils down to this. Many people were aware of the Russian military presence, the buildup there recently. But even within those populated cities of Ukraine, many people did not believe it would come to this. And tonight, NBC reporters on the ground say people are leaving those cities in droves after cruise and ballistic missiles targeted airfields and military bases.